What's up, guys? It's your boy Barca Boy 103. Today we're gonna be doing the match preview for Getafe versus Barcelona in La Liga. We are now just playing games just to secure this league title. Again, Barcelona on course to win their 27th La Liga championship, and the next obstacle in our way is an away trip to Getafe. This will be a very tough match. Getafe currently battling relegation, but in the end Barcelona should be walking away with the victory, and since they haven't won in the last few games, they've got to give something to the fans to at least somewhat be encouraged about. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes this video. Be very much appreciated. And also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 4:15 p.m. local time, so we do have the early kickoff tomorrow in La Liga, and this match will be taking place at the Coliseum Alfonso Pérez Stadium, which of course is the home of Getafe, and the referee for this match has also been confirmed. On the pitch will be Juan Luis Santana, and on the VR it will be Iglesia Villanueva. Let's start off by taking a look at the league table, where Barcelona currently sit top of La Liga on 72 points after playing 28 matches. We do have 23 wins, 3 draws, and 2 losses. You look at our last 5 games in the league, 4 wins and 1 draw, so good form so far in our recent 5 matches, but not as good as Atletico Madrid, who have a 5 out of 5 perfect record in the last few matches and are currently 2 points behind second place Real Madrid on 59 points. After playing 28 matches, they have 18 wins, 5 draws and 5 losses. You look at their last 5 games in the league, 2 wins, 2 losses and a draw. I feel like that's been Real Madrid's form in the past 5 games for a very long time, but again, Atletico Madrid have been very good over the past few months and are now only 2 points behind Real Madrid in the table. Now, of course, depending on where you sit in the table, it also depends on what pot you're put in the Champions League, and also if you finish in second place, you do get a bit more money than you do for third place. So with Barcelona and Atletico Madrid just fighting for the league and Real Madrid still in the cup final in the Champions League, it'll be interesting to see if Real Madrid do end up dropping off or not. But again, Atletico Madrid is just one step away from Real Madrid from capitalizing and moving to second place. And if you look at our rivals who they'll be facing this weekend, I don't really care about anyone else apart from Real Madrid at this point, because I just want to win this damn league title already. Real Madrid will be traveling to Cadiz later on today to take them on in La Liga action. Again, Cadiz is one of the lower teams in the league. This could be a banana skin match, or it could be a very comfortable win for Real Madrid. Of course, they play, in the Champions League midweek, and they play again in the Champions League next week as well. Very weird they're getting put on the Saturday afternoon kickoff as well, or evening in Spain, but nonetheless, it is what it is for them. So yes, we're just Barcelona cruising 13 points clear at the top of La Liga on second point. I don't really care about Atletico Madrid, who are 15 points clear of. Again, it's just us waiting now to just clinch this league title. I think we need now 6 wins, 18 points needed to secure the league title, so hopefully we can get that done as soon as possible. We do have first case face Atletico Madrid in our next match in the league, which will be a very interesting tie. Right now, Barcelona just going through the motions and trying their best, hopefully, to secure this league title as early as possible. Now, if you take a look at our opponents in Getafe and where they're currently standing in the league table, they're currently sat in 15th place in La Liga on 30 points. After playing 28 matches, they do have 7 wins, 9 draws, and 12 losses. But you look at their last 5 games in the league, 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. So in the last 5 games, they do have a better recent form, you could say, than Real Madrid. But so far, Getafe, of course, the battling relegation. They are, top of the table in that relegation battle, so to speak. But again, so far this season, they're just trying their best to avoid the drop. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Getafe. Like I just mentioned, so far in the league, Getafe are not doing too well, but their main goal right now is just to avoid being relegated to the second division, and so far they are achieving that objective. Now, last time we faced Getafe was actually only about 2 months ago at the Spotify Camp Nou, where we did win 1-0 with a Pedri goal just before halftime. Lights on the screen on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, it's very similar to what we can expect for tomorrow's match. Of course, there's a time where Lewandowski was serving a lot of suspensions at this point. I felt like, he's serving up a lot of suspension, but it was just one suspension because, of course, it was post World Cup. But again, we could see a lineup similar to this, barring, of course, Andres Christensen, Pedri, and Ousmane Dembele. 3 key injuries for Barcelona. But I would keep in mind our recent form against Getafe at their stadium. It hasn't been that great. Last season we drew, I think, 0-0. Season before that under Kounde we lost, so we haven't won there in the past 2 games. So again, it being in a different stadium will make it difficult, and even in our own stadium we just narrowly got by Getafe in that match. Now, if you look at Getafe's last 6 matches in all competition, and the last match they lost 2-0 to Real Sociedad. They drew 0-0 Athletic Club. They beat some team in a friendly game. Who cares? They beat Sevilla 2-0. They drew 2-2 with Cadiz, and they beat Girona 3-2. So let's quickly take a look at the last 3 matches in all competition. Firstly is the 2-0 win against Sevilla, where again it's kind of 2 teams at the same level coming up against each other. Again, Getafe being the home team, they did have that advantage, and overall they did play better than Sevilla. Sevilla, I do remember in the first half having a few chances, but in the end it was Unal and Munir being very clinical for Getafe, their star players this season, and they ended up walking away with all 3 points. Next match is their 0-0 draw with Athletic Club, which, to be honest, at this MMS is in fact a decent result, and it's a very, very poor result for Athletic Club. It was, you could say, not a defensive masterclass, but a solid overall performance from Getafe, even though up front clinicality wasn't there. They only created a few chances and couldn't finish it, but most importantly in this match, they did defend very, very well and walked away, in my opinion, with a positive draw. And finally, the last match of all competition was a 2-0 loss to Real Sociedad at the Anoeta Stadium. Again, this is where you could say they could have gotten a result from the Athletic Club. 0-0 draw, walked away with the point. Happy days. In this match, Real Sociedad were on top of it. They were very, very clinical. They were going forward very, very strongly in numbers. And again, Getafe could not combat that, and in the end, they walked away with no points. So overall, final thoughts on Getafe. They're a typical lower opposition side who in this match will most likely park the bus, hit us on the counter attack, and with this home stadium at their advantage, they may even end up going a bit more forward than we usually expect from them in a game. For example, at the Camp Nou, their current manager is, of course, Quique Sanchez-Florence, who has done very well for them over recent years, kept them up, kept them in contention to stay in the La Liga division. Now, in terms of the players to look out for Getafe, there are quite a few, because I don't know why they're really, really stocked in the front line. And you gotta watch out for Borja Mayoral and it's Unal. More importantly, Munir, of course, former Barcelona player, won us the treble in 2014-15. Also, Portu, the former, I think, Real Sociedad and Girona forward, very, very strong player. In the midfield, the one that the Uruguayan that we've always been linked with, I forget his name off the top of my head. Djene, their center back, David Soria in goal. Very, very all-round strong team, but for some reason, just never really clicks for them, and they're always battling relegation. But I think on an individual basis, on each individual player, they do have a very, very strong squad at their level, of course. So that's something to look out for. But again, I watch out more specifically for Munir. I have a funny feeling that Munir is going to turn up in this game, but hopefully he turns up and Barcelona still will end up with the victory. So again, there's a lot of players there. Oh, I forgot about the main man, Damian Suarez. My God. Good thing, not a good thing. What's that other guy's name? The one that yelled at Ansu last time. I forget his name, but he's not there anymore. Thank God for that. But Damian Suarez is still absolutely breathing down our throats. So again, for Getafe, very, very good individual players, but as a collective unit this season, they haven't done too well. But I think on recent form they have, of which Xavi mentioned in his press conference, we'll talk about in a few seconds. But yes, Getafe, they had the players to do damage to Barcelona. It's whether or not they execute their game plan, and also whether or not Barcelona can counteract that. Now, with the training session happening later on today, the squad list has not been released quite yet, but again, we are expecting a very similar squad list to the past 2 against Girona and Madrid. Still no Frenkie de Jong, no Pedri, no Andres Christensen, and no Ousmane Dembele. But as the season winds down, yellow card suspension is something you have to look out for, and in this match coming up, there are 3 players who are 1 yellow card away from suspension. If they get a yellow card in this match, they will be suspended for the big game next week against Atletico Madrid. Those 3 players are Sergio Busquets, Franck Kessie, and Ferran Torres. If any of them get a yellow card in this match, they will be suspended for the Atletico Madrid match, big game at the Camp Nou next week. Time now to get into Xavi's press conference reaction. This press conference this morning, of course, has a lot of questions in the media about the upcoming matches, the future of the transfer market, players' futures, loan needs, how loan need players right now are doing. Very, very broad press conference. He's asked a lot of topics. Let's get and see what the Gav had to say this morning in the presser. He came out saying that Getafe is a very aggressive team and they have scored many points in their home field. They're a direct team and they do things very well. I foresee a rival in a very difficult match. Those who are in the best moments will play. We don't look at age or category. We have a significant largely squad to win these games. This is not the time for too many tests. Most of them are going to be almost ready. We thought it'd be better not to risk and hold them for another week. They're ready to play, but it was better to wait. Now this he's talking about injuries here, more specifically on Frenkie de Jong and Pedri. Xavi says that right now we can't risk them. They're at a point now where they're just almost ready, and right now risking them not really necessary. So we're going to wait a week and hopefully by then there's no risk being needed. So again, big injury boost for Pedri, Christensen, and De Jong. But again, Ousmane Dembele, we're still waiting and seeing on that one. He was then asked about the right back position, saying that look, right now I'm happy. Sergio Roberto can play there, Alejandro Balde as well. Everyone has been very good. Of course, Kounde is mainly playing there, and Unal will play there when we face Vinicius. Playing for next season will come, and we are focus on that. He's then asked about Umtiti's loan move, which I think he has not been asked about since he left, so this is going to be a big positive. Of course, we've been hearing that Lecce, his current squad, owes around 500,000 euros in variables met, and Xavi said that we're following Sam well. He's adapted well to the Italian football. He's part of the planning for next year, and we will see what we will do with him. Of course, probably going to sell him. Then asked about Eric Garcia's positioning on the pitch, and he plays as a center back all his life, but we think that he can adapt perfectly in the pivot role. He's a good passing game. He's fast. He wins 1v1 duels. I like him a lot, and his professionalism through and through is also very important as well. So of course, Eric Garcia, very important player for Xavi. I think also for the squad as well, and that's why most likely he will end up staying this summer. We never took the train because the journeys were so long. Tomorrow's a perfect day to travel by train. So the club, the coaching staff, and the players tomorrow will be taking the train up to Getafe. No plane, none of that, taking it the day before. We usually don't take the train, but you know what, tomorrow's a new day for another experience. I'm very happy that they appreciate the work. There are conversations every day that there will be no problem understanding each other. First, they win La Liga and then finalize a possible renewal. Of course, Xavi there talking about his contract extension. We have a very important advantage in the next 3 or 4 games is key. If we win them, we are almost being champions, but we still are focused on tomorrow's matchup. We compete against very strong rivals, being where we are in La Liga has a lot of merit. We want to win this competition against Madrid and against Atletico. Gavi wouldn't be as happy in any team as he is here. He's a starter and he's decisive for the team. He's a marvelous football player at the age of 18. His future lies with Barcelona. Of course, asked about about Gavi possibly leaving for free. Is asked about Pep, said I consider Pep to be the best coach in the world. Before he won titles, he was already very special. He does new and innovative things. Everyone who passes under him has improved. Then asked about how the injuries have really affected Barcelona's season. He said it's inevitable that when you miss Pedri and Dembele, and it's normal that Lewandowski will also notice that as well. He was then asked about the future of some players like Ferran Torres and Ansu Fati. He said that look, we talked to the players, but we have not planned up or down. Football changes every day, yet the work and tomorrow get an important victory against Getafe. Then asked about Busquets' renewal and how it's possibly linked with Messi's return, saying that the most important thing is that Busquets is calm, and I don't think his decision depends on whether or not Messi comes. It's difficult to choose. It happened to me. It's important for the team, and if it continues, it will continue to be important for the squad. And finally, Xavi was asked about Pablo Torre's future. Will he play some minutes over the next few games, and also if he'll go on loan next season? That look, we haven't decided yet. There's a month and a half left in the season, and then we'll decide when we meet our goal for the season, which of course is to win La Liga. So Xavi, again, this press conference is nothing but, again, wanting to win this trophy. Contract renewal, win La Liga first. Injuries, who cares? We win La Liga. Transfer market, who cares? We have to win La Liga. And that concluded Xavi's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Getafe tomorrow. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We're going to start with the manager, of course, Xavi Hernandez. I'm going to try my best for this lineup because I think it will be very easy to predict. Of course, we're playing it once a week. We're not rotating. We're not really resting. Who will be playing this match? I think it'll be a lot of, same personnel that we saw over the recent few matches. But I think that Xavi will go with this lineup on the screen right now. I think he'll go with Ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Kounde, Araujo, Eric Garcia, Alejandro Balde, midfield three of Busquets, Roberto, and Gavi, and a front three of Raphinha, Lewandowski, and Ferran Torres. So from the last game against Girona, I think Xavi will make one change, and that's taking out Ansu Fati and bringing in Ferran Torres. At this point with them two, they're at a point where you just have to play them rotationally, and then whoever performs the better in the game will get the backing in the next game. Then if they flop, the next one comes in and they do well, they keep on starting. I think that's the competition that we have right now in that position. Apart from that, I can see no other changes. Maybe Marcos Alonso will come in at center back, and maybe Jordi Alba could start on the left-hand side, in whether it's left back or left wing. I'm not quite too sure. But I don't think that's the case. I think Xavi will pick a very, very similar line to the one against Girona. Keep it very strong. Keep it, same personnel on the pitch, barring 1 or 2 changes at the absolute max. If he makes more than 2 changes, I will be shocked, and credit to him. I think we do need more than 2 changes. But this line, I think Xavi Hernandez will select for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think Xavi's going to go with. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was a Barcelona coach, and I have made a few changes from Xavi's lineup. I've gone with this lineup on the screen right now. I've gone with Ter Stegen in goal, a back 4 of Kounde, Araujo, Eric Garcia, and Alejandro Balde, midfield 3 of Busquets, Gavi, and Pablo Torre, and a front 3 of Ferran Torres, Lewandowski, and Ansu Fati. So back 5 stays the same. I wouldn't bring in Jordi Alba or Marcos Alonso, of course. In the midfield, Roberto is just so shite, and Kessie, I think, hasn't been on the best of form, so I wanted to give Pablo Torre a shout. I think Pablo Torre should be getting more minutes than he is right now, and right now he's getting none. I think he should be getting more than that. Again, we keep hearing in the media every single week, every single day, he's the best at set pieces in the squad, but like, I think he deserves some minutes. Of course, starting him, well, there's a 0% chance he will start tomorrow, but I would personally start him. Now, in the front 3, I've gone with a bit of an outside shout. I've dropped Raphinha. I think he was absolutely poor against Girona, firstly. And secondly, the last time we played with this front 3, we scored 4 goals. I think you have to keep a very, very balanced front 3. I don't think Ferran can play as good on the left as he can on the right. And I think Ansu Fati needs to stay on the left, and Raphinha can only stay on the right. I would give Ferran and Ansu both a huge opportunity here, especially in a match where we have to win. We've been winless in our last 2, and I think, you know what, you give them the opportunity like you did against Elche. They both took it, they both got a goal, and I think, you know what, give them another go. I think Raphinha didn't, do enough for me to just think that, oh, he's a starter for the next match 100%. He has to start. He didn't do that for me against Girona, and I think, you know what, it's going to be a huge opportunity, in my opinion, for Ferran and Ansu Fati, in my opinion, if I was a coach. And that's the lineup that I would select for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know if you'd rather pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup. Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? I think it will be a tight game. I cannot see too many goals in it, but I have gone Barcelona winning this match by 1-0. Again, I'm not like excited or over the moon about this game. I think Barcelona will walk away with a positive result. Yes, I don't think we'll lose. I think we'll either draw or win. I think a draw, though, is very, very likely. If Getafe get the first goal, I think we're on ropes. But hopefully we can keep the clean sheet. I think that should be the main goal now for Barcelona. Just get as many clean sheets as you can and let the attackers do the job in the final third. And I think in the end, Barcelona will be somewhat clinical. I think Lewandowski will get a goal, or one of the forwards, give us that 1-0 win. Then we keep it tight until the 90 minutes is up. But I cannot stress enough that if Getafe get the first goal, we might even lose. I mean, it's that bad. When Barcelona concede first, it's on the rope, especially away from home, especially in the stadium where Getafe have done well this season in their home ground, and where Barcelona have not won in the past 2 seasons. So I don't think the win is going to be as easy as I'm predicting it. I think it'll be very, very tough. I do see a draw as a more likely result than a win, but I'm going to predict Barcelona to win this match 1-0. But of course, let me know your score predictions down in the comments below. So that was my match preview for Getafe versus Barcelona in La Liga. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. But the main thing I want to first see, of course, is your score prediction, and secondly, on those lineups. Firstly, would you rather pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup? What do you think Xavi would go with? What would you go with? You're the manager. Leave me all your thoughts down below. And of course, make sure you subscribe down below as well if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me, watch the game with me. Follow Chef for the match by match review. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully we can win a game and get closer to winning this La Liga title. Otherwise, this could be a very, very long and nervous end to a very, very emotional season. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for that live watch along, and hopefully we watch Barcelona pick up all 3 points. Take care and force the Barca.